Hey guys, I'm playing this game, Railway Empire 2. I just got it and I have zero clue what this game is about. I decided I thought it's worth checking out because it's new. And yeah, the music is somehow loud. I wanna fix that first. Yes. Yeah. This should be good enough. Yeah. So I have no clue what this game is about. It's just a newer game about rail, you know, and I just like that kind of games. I played Railroad Tycoon. I forgot which version because it's been a while. I played it once and I played it for quite long when I did play it. And I stumbled across it like out of nowhere. It's not like I was like looking for it specially or I purchased it especially after knowing what it was about. I just stumbled on it and I loved it, and I used to play it a lot because, like connecting those cities and towns with your railway lines and having those trains run across and all. So that was quite interesting, and I kept playing it for quite a while until I stopped. It's just like the game kind of aged, and it was just not fun anymore. And I had other stuff to just get into. But then I saw this game, and I was like, okay, it's probably worth checking out. So, anyways, let's see if whatever is the highest values. I do have a good graphics card. Of course, I'm not gaming laptop. But I'm not playing on the gaming laptop screen. I have a separate screen for my games. I do my work on my laptop and I also play games, and I have a separate big screen for that. And so that's where the screen is capped at, like 1080p. It's good enough. I don't need a 4K or anything kind of a screen. So that's kind of it. So I don't know if there's anything else to change here. Everything seems fine. Is there anything which I'm missing, which I should be checking or not? I don't know. Everything is high. Okay, there's nothing very high or anything, so it's fine. I have no clue what this game is about. I have zero clue. And I have zero clue if it's even going to be something like the game I'm expecting it to be, but let's hope it is. Let's hope the visuals are as good as they show up here. So anyways, without wasting any time, I'm just going to jump into it and start with the tutorials because I have no clue how to play this game and what it's about. Basics. Tutorial 1. In the short tutorial, you'll learn the basics of operation, how to move around the map, rotate the camera and zoom, building stations and link tracks. You will also learn about the importance of steam engine and trains for towns and rural businesses and how to create your first rail line. 5 minutes. Okay, you'll unlock a special paint job for this terrain. Okay, let's go for it. It's better to know what you're doing before you do it.
Greetings. I've been expecting you. I'm Lawrence Vanderswag, and I want to help you find your way in the world of railways. I'll tell you everything you need to know to set up a successful transport company.
Okay, but where is there supposed to be a portrait here? Because I can't see it if there is. I don't know why. This town looks good. I can see like some nice details. But yeah, because it's probably supposed to be a large map, that's probably why the distant foliage is missing. Like some of the trees. So yeah.
Of
Next.
course, if you want to make money transporting passengers, mail, and freight, you need to understand where the need for new railway lines is greatest. This is, for example, where goods are produced.
Okay.
Have a look at the map. Move the map in all directions and change the zoom level.
Okay, WASD keys for directions and change the zoom level with mouse wheel. That's like normal. I'm just checking the details they have on the map. Oh, I don't know why it's.
And now, turn the camera in all directions.
Yeah, it moves so fast when it's zoomed in. That's not good. I can even see a rabbit. Wow, they do have some details there. If you do zoom in, you see some. Oh, is it a fox or is it a wolf? Okay, so from the overall perspective, I thought it was like kind of lacking graphics, but now that I zoom in, I think it's not bad. It's probably gonna have some details. And okay, rotate the camera in all directions by pressing the mouse wheel while moving the mouse. Or Q&E.
Very well.
Okay, I'll prefer
Now
Q&E.
take a closer look at the area around the two cities, San Francisco and Sacramento.
Very well. Now take a closer look at the area. Okay, where are they? San Francisco. Around the city, San Francisco. Oh, this is San Francisco. What year is it? I mean, you gotta be kidding me. This can't be the city. Obviously, like they just probably designed them like really small. The wheels are disappearing into the stones for some reason. Okay, San Francisco, and now we're supposed to be to what was it? Sacramento. So what am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do? That's what I've seen the area around. Okay. Is that horses? Bison, I suppose. What do you call it? A bison or bison? Yeah, the same here. Whoa. There's a lot of them here. Is that normal for them to be here next to humans? That wouldn't be in real, of course. That would never happen in real. So there's a traffic system to these carts? Oh, they just like kind of are like riding into each other. So yeah, they have graphics. I mean, they have put some details, but not as good of details as could have been. So I've seen that. What do you want me to do? How do I? Okay. Sorry, I can just press next, right?
Cities and rural businesses are crucial to the transportation business. Cities produce factory goods, mail, and travelers. There is a need for transportation to other cities for these goods.
Okay. Right. So what do you want me to do here? Yeah, it's producing beef, right? Because it has all of these guys here. And what here? It has needs.
Farms in the countryside produce basic goods and raw materials, which are also needed by cities.
Yep. Got it. These are farms. To produce what? What is this? Wool? I suppose. They're cows. Why is every cow the same? Like a copy paste.
As long as there are no railroads, all goods must be transported via simple rural roads.
Yeah.
But these transports do not cover long distances, are tedious and slow. Therefore,
Yeah.
the transport volume is not very high.
Okay. I do understand that.
Through the railroad, the old transport routes can be replaced. In addition, cities and farms that were previously too far apart can be connected. Improving goods supply ensures that cities grow. Rural businesses in the countryside also grow because they can sell more goods.
I get it, but I think now this San Francisco is supposed to be like a huge city, right? But this is a like tiny map. So this like zoom level is like very minimal. I mean, this is supposed to be a huge city, so this distance between this area and here is probably supposed to be like hundreds of miles, and they're just like making like nothing in this game, and the train will start within a second or a couple of few seconds. It's gonna be here and then here and so on.
Take a closer look at Sacramento. Under the name, you can see the size of the city. Move your focus to the city and you'll see what it currently produces for export to other cities.
Yeah, I can see.
Sacramento has a steady supply of passengers, mail, and export goods every day, some of which is destined for San Francisco. San Francisco, in turn, has goods for Sacramento. Build a rail link between the two cities to take these shipments. First, construct a railroad station in Sacramento. Open the building construction to select it. Then move it to a valid location within the Sacramento City region. It's best to rotate it so that the tracks face San Francisco.
Tracks face San Francisco. So how do I rotate it? I have no clue. How am I supposed to? Oh yeah, shifting that. Okay. So I got that, but the question is this a good place? Or is this a good place? I'm trying to avoid killing anything. But here I'm getting a couple of houses dead because of it. And here I'm getting all of these houses dead. I don't know if that's supposed to be normal. I would try to avoid that if I could. I don't know, man. Is this normal?
By the way, each station can be expanded after construction with up to 2 additional buildings and 7 tracks. However, certain buildings like factories can get in the way of expanding the tracks. Therefore, do not build the station too close to these buildings.
Okay.
Now build the second station in San Francisco. Move the station to a valid position within the city borders and turn it preferably to the southeast so that you can get well around the bay in the next step.
Southeast. I guess like this. So how many houses do you have to kill here? Is that fine? These people will have to relocate.
Very good. And now establish a track connection between the two cities. To do this, open the track construction mode and select the first station track at both stations in turn. The stations will then be connected and the entire track will be shown to you as a preview, which you can still modify.
Okay. Okay. Is that how you want it?
The preview track follows the shortest path. However, this is not always possible and often not the cheapest solution. Especially tunnels and bridges can be very expensive. In the overview, you can see how the track construction costs are composed.
Okay.
To change the course of a proposed track, you can insert track points and then move them. Now set such a track point once by selecting the track. Now optimize the cost of the track with the help of track points. Please note that length, slopes, as well as tight curves will have a negative effect on the travel time of your trains. Then confirm the construction. Very good! The track has been built and can be used immediately. Now,
Okay.
set up a rail line. Now add your stations to the rail line by selecting them one by one. It's enough if the rail line has 2 stations.
Sacramento. And,
Now assign the type of locomotive to the train line which all trains should use. At the moment, you have only one locomotive to choose from. Now specify how many trains should run on the rail line. To start off, 1 train is enough. The display tells you how many trains are currently active and how many you have requested. For each train, you have to pay the cost of purchasing the locomotive. Now, confirm this cost. Fantastic! The train is now immediately deployed and will soon be on its way. Now,
Okay.
close the edit mode to see the rail line in action. Zoom in on the train and watch it load. The train is loading goods, passengers, and mail destined for the other city. Let's wait until the train reaches the other city. By the
Oh.
way, you can increase the gameplay speed at any time. Also, the game runs faster when you zoom out.
I'm just going like why the train, man? Except, um, how do I follow this train? Can I follow it like the camera? Probably I'll figure that out eventually. For now, this is probably the only thing I can see and do. Here goes our first trend. The game does have some nice details, at least for the trains, if nothing else. Although these are like all just copy pasted. Not available, I don't know what that means. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know I would have wanted to make it like this and go from here and avoid this bridge and also this tunnel. I know that, but I'm just completing the tutorial. I don't want to go into those details right now. Because money's not going to be a problem. In the tutorial, at least.
The train has arrived and is being unloaded. The numbers rising above the train are the transport revenue. This is the most important source of revenue for your company.
Where are the numbers
each
above the
train
train?
also generates personnel and maintenance costs, but more on that later. Keep watching for a bit, and this tutorial will end.
Okay, now I can see that. Cool. So first tutorial is completed. We figured out how to put stations and trains in interaction, and this game does look like.
In this lesson, I want to give you some additional information about track construction. You already know the basics, but I have a few important tips.
Okay. So what I was saying is like, this game does look exactly like the game I liked. Railroad Tycoon. I forgot the number, like which number it was. Was it 2 or 3 or something? I think it was probably 3 or something like that. A few years back. And this is exactly how that game was. And I think it's probably better because it's more up to date. So I think I'm going to enjoy this game overall. So after you put the train station, the city has grown smaller, and so has this one. Why? How are these shrinking? I don't know why.
First, consider the cattle farm with the road connection to Sacramento. The road tells us that the farm can deliver goods to the city, in this case, livestock to the meat industry. But transportation by roads is slow and limited.
Okay.
Sacramento could produce more meat if the city received more livestock.
Okay.
Therefore, you are now to establish a railroad connection between the cattle farm and Sacramento. In order for a rural business to use a station, the station must be set up nearby. This is indicated to you by a line from the farm to the station.
Got it. Let's not keep it too far. About here should be fine, I think. Yeah.
Very good. And now build a track between the new station and the station in Sacramento. Don't use the first two station tracks in Sacramento, though, because we still need them for the connection to San Francisco.
What does that mean? What? Oh, got it. So I'm to avoid any bridges at all. So let's try to do that. Okay, yeah, I need to move it to the keyboard. What is this? I can't place a track there. Not to the city. What do you mean by that? Okay. I just want to see like how is it going. Is this going to be a problem? I think we can enter it this way. It's probably better.
Before you build the track, I want to explain how you can influence the height of a track. To do this, insert a track point on the track and change its height. You will see the controls at the bottom of the screen when you move the focus over the track point.
I still don't get it. Okay.
With the height of a track point, you can influence tunnels, bridges, and slopes. Now, optimize the track so that no tunnels or bridges are needed, and the track has a length of less than 250 kilometers or 160 miles. Then, confirm the track construction.
This is better, right? Yep.
Excellent. Now, set up a rail line between the cattle operation and Sacramento. To do this, create a new rail line between the two stations, select a locomotive and a train, and confirm the cost. That done, the rail line can begin service. But suppose the demand for cattle becomes so great that one train on this line is not enough. Then you would have to add another train. But this is not possible at the moment because there are no parallel tracks.
Got it. But you don't need parallel tracks, right? Because trains will always go and then have those points where they can just like one can wait for the other or something. Anyways, I don't want to go into details.
Therefore, you should now build a sidetrack and define directions of travel so that several trains can operate between the cattle farm and Sacramento. Open the track build mode again. Now select the track at the marked position to insert a switch.
Oh, a switch, yep.
Now it gets tricky. You have to lay the new track as a parallel track to the existing one. Parallel tracks are much cheaper and offer many advantages. Move your cursor to the marked position and make sure that the parallel track symbol appears on the cursor. Then confirm the position. Very good! Now the track will continue to be built as a parallel track. Now select the last position for your sidetrack near the cattle farm. You will see the complete track with 2 switches as a preview. Then confirm the construction and pay for this track.
Okay, but why do we need such a long switching thing?
Now you have to set directions for the 2 parallel tracks. Otherwise, your trains will always choose the shortest way and not use the sidetrack. Now open the direction mode and select both tracks several times so that they receive different directions. Very good! Now your trains can go one way and return the other. Why don't you zoom in close to one of the new turnouts and take a look at the signals that were automatically created by the turnouts and the direction of travel.
Yeah,
These signals define directions of travel and tell trains where to stop if the track section in front of them is already occupied or reserved.
Cool. Makes sense. And one train can wait here in case this is busy.
But at the moment, you don't need a second train on this route, because your rail line can already transport much more livestock than the previous rural road. This allows the meat industry in Sacramento to produce more meat, which also benefits your rail line to San Francisco. Now, let's take a closer look at this rail line. Open the Sacramento City dialog by selecting the Sacramento City borders. You can select anything except special buildings. Important information about the city is shown here. At the top, the citizens of the city are displayed. Below that is how many wagons of goods the citizens and the industries in the city could consume and how well this demand is currently covered.
Okay.
Furthermore, the current train usage is shown for freight, passengers, and mail. Below that, it shows how many passengers and how much mail are currently waiting for transport and how much is added per week. It is important to note here, these express goods do not wait forever. For example, after a few days of waiting, travelers will gradually abandon their journey or look for another way. The same is true for mail. So if you want to transport as many express goods to San Francisco as possible, a train should leave Sacramento every 5 to 10 days. However, your existing rail line only has one train and only reaches Sacramento every 15 to 20 days. So you have to put in another train.
Okay. I thought it was just here. How is this 15 days of track? At least make it real, guys. Look like real.
However, this route does not offer any alternative options for several trains. Now you have to change that, but this time with a different method than before. Open the track construction mode and build a railway line from track 2 in Sacramento to track 2 in San Francisco. You will see that this track is automatically planned as a parallel track and is therefore very convenient.
Okay. Nice. It's more easier. We could just like let us upgrade the existing one. I click upgrade. But yeah, makes sense.
But 2 parallel tracks do not help yet. We still have to connect them. There is a very practical method for this, the station gridiron. With it, you can connect parallel tracks in front of stations. Select the station gridiron and build it in front of the Sacramento and San Francisco stations.
Okay. And here as well.
Excellent. Now set different directions for the 2 parallel tracks so that the trains can avoid each other. Select the track direction mode again and set different directions for the 2 tracks by selecting the track sections. Excellent. By setting directions, all signals are automatically created here as well. Now your track is ready for more trains. Close the track construction mode and select the rail line from Sacramento to San Francisco. You can do this in several ways. First, you can simply select the train that is traveling between the two cities. Do that. You can also simply switch through all your rail lines. Try that too. And there is a third way. Select a track between San Francisco and Sacramento. Then, a list of all the rail lines that use this track will open on the left. You can also select the desired rail line from this list. Now select Edit Rail Line and increase the number of trains to 2. The cost of this is for the locomotive, which has to be bought new. Fortunately, the wagons cost you nothing. Confirm the cost so the second train can be purchased, and then close the mode. Perfect! Take a close look at the station and the station gridiron in Sacramento. The new train can be created immediately, because thanks to the gridiron, both tracks are available to the rail line. The gridiron is more than just a crossover. While the train always chooses the shortest way at a crossover, at the gridiron, free tracks at the station are preferred. You can place gridirons at all parallel tracks in front of a station if there is enough space available, because the more tracks are to be connected, the longer the structure. Since the station gridiron can only be used by one train at a time, I wouldn't recommend you to connect more than 4 parallel tracks. Now let's wait for the train.
Okay. What do you mean by wait for the train? What do you want me to do? Nothing? I don't know, does he want me to do something?
And already the new train is on the way. By the way, the train number of the train you are currently looking at is shown above. Switch through the trains on your train line once. This is useful, for example, if you want to see what each train has loaded. And that's the end of this lesson. You now know how to create switches, side tracks, parallel tracks, track directions, and station gridirons. With this, you can already create any complex track system. You'll figure out other objects like crossings as you build tracks yourself.
Okay. Nice. So we learned quite a few things. It still says me as
Welcome
new.
to my lesson on locomotive maintenance. First, you need to know that all locomotives have different maintenance intervals and consumption depending on their type. Take a look at the rail line between Sacramento and San Francisco.
Okay.
Here you can see the current state of the locomotive. The lower the condition is, the more often the train has a breakdown and stops on the way. Locomotives are automatically repaired at stations if they have a maintenance depot. To do this, try choosing the station in Sacramento.
Okay, try choosing.
Here you can select Construct Extension. Do that and take a look at the options available. Then build a maintenance depot. Very good. Whenever the state bar of a locomotive has dropped to about 60%, it will be serviced. And since the Sacramento station is used by both of your train lines, the maintenance depot also benefits both train lines. Now close the station again and select a train line once more. These 3 bars show the levels of water, sand, and oil. If operating materials are missing, the locomotive will be significantly slower. Water is needed on a daily basis. Sand is needed when going uphill to increase the friction of the wheels. Oil is needed to lubricate moving parts, and the amount required is dependent upon the distance traveled. All of the operating materials that a locomotive requires can be obtained at supply towers, which must be built along the tracks. Open the building menu and select the supply tower. Now build a supply tower near each of the marked positions.
Okay.
Very good. Both rail lines can now reach a supply tower. You can build them at any position along your lines, but they should be far enough away from switches and stations so that a long train can stop at them without creating conflicts.
Got it.
There is one more building that has to do with maintenance, the maintenance post. Select this building type. Unlike the maintenance depot or the supply tower, the maintenance post is not a required building type. It is suitable, however, when many trains come together in a small space because the maintenance post can reduce breakdowns and thus long traffic jams and conflicts considerably. However, this also results in daily upkeep costs. This brings us to the end of this lesson. Feel free to look around some more. Once you have finished, this tutorial will end. This lesson is about optimizing rail lines, specifically how to optimize the revenue of a rail line according to its tasks. For this purpose, select a train of the rail line from Sacramento to San Francisco. Since this rail line operates between 2 cities, it transports passengers and mail. These 2 goods are among the express goods because they require fast transportation. Consequently, the faster the transport, the higher the transport revenue. For example, the faster you transport a passenger, the higher the ticket revenue.
Okay.
Now open the balance sheet of the rail line. Here you can see, among other information, what revenues the selected train had on its last full tour. As you can see, revenue for freight transportation also plays a role. While Sacramento produces meat, San Francisco has cloth. Fixed prices are paid for freight transportation, so speed is not a factor here. Now consider the costs. Maintenance and fuel are mainly affected by the length of a tour, but personnel generates daily costs, so speed plays a factor here. Also, a rail line can transport more if it is faster. However, freight is much heavier than express goods, and a locomotive cannot be fast and powerful at the same time. Therefore, there are different locomotives. For example, on this rail line, a mixed-use locomotive is used. This is always good if the load consists of at most half freight goods. If there is a higher percentage of freight, a freight locomotive would be better, because the train will otherwise be very slow even on slight inclines. We now want to test a freight locomotive and one for express goods between the 2 cities. Open the Research and Development section. Here you will see many technologies that you can unlock over the years. They improve countless aspects of your business. These include higher ticket prices, happier passengers, and even more modern locomotives. Your current locomotive is the Dunham. Select it and let's take a look at its data.
Where is the Dunham? I can't seem to move the diagram. Dude, where is this Dunham? Oh, no. I don't know. It says holding the left mouse button will. Oh yeah, okay, got it. My mistake.
Compare the speed, tractive power, and suitability of the Dunham with the two locomotives to the right of the Dunham, the Derwent and the Firefly. You can see that the fast Firefly has a much lower tractive power than the powerful Derwent. This means that the Firefly is much worse at pulling heavy loads, but much faster at pulling light loads. Now, unlock these two locomotives so you can use them in your rail line. Very good. Now close this dialogue. Now optimize the rail line for express goods. Exchange the locomotive for the Firefly and select Express as the load type. Then pay the cost for the new locomotives and close this dialogue. Now, watch your rail line and use the fast forward function if you like. It will only pick up express goods and it will reach a much higher speed than before. After a while, it will even show the express symbol. This means your rail line is the fastest of its time and gets even higher ticket revenue. You don't have to offer an express line, of course. Everything works with slower and mixed transports as well. But suppose you have a good reason for this optimization. Then, of course, freight transport is missing. If you can't transport freight on the same tracks, that would slow down the express train. Therefore, you should expand the tracks from Sacramento to San Francisco. To do this, extend the two parallel tracks from Sacramento to San Francisco by 2 more tracks. Then build a station gridiron at each station, connecting each of the 4 tracks. You can just build the new station gridiron on top of the previous one, but be aware that the new gridiron is much longer. Don't forget the directions for the new tracks.
Okay. Is that what you are wanting me to do right now? What's going on? Okay.
Excellent. Now create a new rail line from Sacramento to San Francisco. To make it use the new tracks, you need to set waypoints. To do this, select the following 4 objects in sequence: Sacramento, the outbound track, San Francisco, the return track.
No, new rail line from Terminal Center. Make sure to choose new tracks. The waypoint. Should you expect the following 4 business sequence? Sacramento. Okay. The outbound track. Which one is that? I have no clue. That means this one. Okay. San Francisco. The return track.
Very good. Now
Okay.
use the Derwent as the locomotive. Select freight to be loaded because this rail line should only carry freight. That's exactly how it's done. Normally trains always take the shortest way, but by using waypoints you can specify certain paths. You should also do this for your express line so that the 2 lines don't get in each other's way. Otherwise, we're through with this lesson, so when you're ready, you can finish it.
Yep. I'd like to finish. I got the idea.
Greetings! This lesson is about how you can recognize the needs of a city and use them to your advantage. I'll also show you how to invest in the production of goods to ensure additional transport and growing cities, which in turn leads to even more transport. Open the city dialogue of Sacramento and then the supply and demand list. This list shows you, among other things, how high the stock of all goods is and how high the current demand by citizens and factories is. As an
Okay.
example, look at grain. The city needs grain, yet the supply is at 0. This is because the nearest grain farm is too far away and is virtually unsupplied by traditional transportation. The same is true for lumber. So with the help of new rail lines, we could improve the goods coverage of the city.
Hey, it has lumber. Okay.
For corn, however, there is some supply. Here, a corn farm is nearby and goods are transported via road. A new rail line would generate revenue, but would not improve the city's fulfillment of demand until the city has grown too large for traditional transportation. Now, close the list again and look for suitable businesses to improve the city's fulfillment of demand so that the city can grow. To the north of Sacramento, there is lumber, and in the northeast, there is grain available. Now
Dude.
build a station at both farms and connect them to Sacramento, preferably with double tracks and a gridiron.
But you're wrong. It has lumber coverage. Yeah, 100%. Isn't it receive milk? Why do you want me to construct something? Okay. Let's do this. Okay. It's just a lumber farm, and you want me to build a train there. I don't know if this has happened in history as a real thing, but yeah. So, where are you supposed to go here? I suppose this should not be a problem. Hey, why do we need to construct so many bridges, guys? Why can't we just go like this, around, avoid that? Yeah. And avoid the need for any bridges or anything. Just have it straight here. Still, you're adding bridges. I think this is fine. I don't know. I hope it's fine. This will just copy the same stuff, right? Okay. And you said and a gridiron. Same here. Okay, now we're gonna have a problem there. That's why I put it here. This will make more sense. I know I'm stupid. Does this make sense? Is it fine to do? I think so. I think so. Still learning. Okay. Now we just need one lumber thingy. Hey, not both are supposed to be. Yeah. Yes. Now I just need a lumber thingy here. Yes, I built it. No, how do I select this shrine station? Why cannot it be reached? It's right here. So you can't merge them like that? I have no clue. This is weird. Oh, I probably messed up something. Okay, let's do one thing first, and that is put a crane here. Okay, ground terminal to San Francisco. Why can't... What is this? This is... I don't know what's going on. Have I not built these stations? This is a train station, right? I don't know. It's because of this, is it? Because I merged these two tracks. Well... I don't know. Let me select this one as a starting one, and then try selecting this. Dude, what is this? This is a rail line. How is it not reachable? I don't know, man. Okay, how do I delete a rail line and see if that makes a difference here? Well, they're really supposed to make a new thingy from scratch, really. I don't know. I think this overlap somehow is messed up. Except I don't know how to fix it. Is there a way I can fix this? It's already here. How do I fix this issue? Okay, demolish. I'm just going to demolish this. Yeah, so let's start from scratch. Let's see what we can do. So here we have the whole thingy. We're just going to extend this to... But my major problem is it doesn't connect there. Okay, it does connect here, so yeah. Let's see if this works this way. Okay. Now, can we just add this as a line now? Kind of, yes. I think so. Choose locomotive. I don't know, I just want to go with Denham for now. Oh. Doesn't really matter. For the time being. Train 0 to 2. Yeah. It's all good. Except I can't really click anything here. Okay, I can. Except... Oh, I need to put that there, right? Okay, yes. And I need to put this there. And we already have that there, so this can be active. For all we know. Where are these horses? So we set the direction. Didn't we assign the trains here already? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, mix is fine. Just do it. Oh, it's paused. That's why. So we have a train now. Nice. Um, how about I put too many trains there? Okay, so anyways, forget about it. It's just a tutorial for the time being. Small breakdown. Okay. We'll deal with it later on. What was the next thing which we were doing? Yeah, ground terminal. So let's go with the track construction and let's get it done quickly. No bridges, nothing, please. Where are we? Oh, okay. No, I don't want any bridges. Just bring it straight, without bridges, please. Yeah.
Don't forget to also set track directions and build supply towers. Then set up one rail line for each good so that they can be delivered to Sacramento. We will continue once the first goods arrive in Sacramento.
What is going on? They mess it up somehow. Where's demolish option again? Forgot the demolish option. Doesn't matter. You can do it this way, I think. For the time being. This is a tutorial. But yeah, I'm not gonna make these mistakes later on. I have to make sure. Yeah, and we need this here as well. Yep. And yep. And we just need some trains flowing here now. Brown Terminal to Sacramento. Trains will go for a couple of them. Let's keep it mixed for the time being. Or we could try. Let's keep try. Let's just try a couple of Germans here. Yeah. Okay. Fly towers, yes, he's right. City buildings. Supply towers. Right. Where do you put it? Over there. Or more like here.
Excellent. Select Sacramento again and watch how the city's fulfillment of demand improves. Since grain and lumber are in fairly high demand by the city, these two commodities also have a higher impact on demand coverage. Observe how the new supplies increase the goods coverage. If it's above 60%, a city grows. If it falls below 40%, it shrinks. Let's wait until the city reaches 40,000 citizens. You can look around a bit in the meantime.
40,000, okay. No, I'm gonna keep an eye. I'm gonna check how it grows. It doesn't seem to be increasing though. Where's the grain, guys? Okay. So yeah, demands are being met. But that's going to take some time. Okay, we have to wait and just watch. % is reached, but since they're not improving. Okay, it's growing, but very slowly. Is someone putting trees there? Where? Can't see them. Just the sound, no one's cutting trees. Yeah. So not as many details as we were expecting. All the houses are copy pasted. Well, the question will be like, how soon does the technology improve? Do we actually end up with those electric trains, those bullet trains in the end? Do we really advance all those years, or is it just staying in this old age? Oh, the wait is taking time for sure. So anyway, let's look around. Let's see what else is on the map. Milk. How about we fix the milk issue, which we saw before? Saying what? Sacramento. I think we can put it like this, or maybe like this. A bit distant from them, from the animals, from the sound of friends. So this is where the problem is. How do we add more here? You know, because it's overlapping. So it's creating that issue. I don't know. Is this gonna fix it? Probably not. I don't know. How do you fix this issue? Anyways, where are you, Sacramento? We're almost at 40,000. That said, how do we fix this issue? The tracks. Okay, it can be a long ass bridge. Just trying to avoid those bridges. Okay, here we go. Yep. This was the only way I could do this for the time being. I mean, of course there are other ways, but I don't want to go into too much stuff right now. Isn't it supposed to be in one of the new ones? I don't know if I made a mistake or not. Guess I'll figure it out. Can I add this station here? Yep, I can. Choose locomotive, right? 2. Express, no, right? Confirm. And we need the direction thingy. This one goes there, this one goes there. This one we also need here. And then we'll also need this here somewhere. Yeah. And we are pretty good. We just need one of these here. Somewhere here. And yep. Why are you paused? I never paused you. Problem with route? How? Is it because of that? I think so. Anyways, doesn't really matter for the time being. But yeah, I think it's because it's here and not there. And I wish I could change that somehow. I don't see an option for that. Like, can I do that? Oh man, I'm making tons of mistakes right now. Trust me. It will collide with itself. How? Okay. Where was the demolishing option? I don't know. This shouldn't be a problem. For all I know. Oh, was it the case? I don't know what was the problem then. Oh, that's the problem. Problem solved. So many things I'm learning, man. I'll never know these things. Oh, small brick then, okay?
Excellent. Sacramento has reached a new level. When a city grows, this has many effects. The need for goods increases, more types of goods are demanded, more industries can be constructed, and special buildings become available. Another industry can now be constructed in Sacramento. Beer would be good because grain is needed as raw material for it. Besides, San Francisco also needs beer and there already exists a rail line. So open the construction menu and select the breweries.
Where is the construction menu? Okay. Factories.
Now
brewery.
place the new industry in Sacramento inside the inner city area. Make sure that the new building complex doesn't get in the way of your future construction projects. For example, you can't lay tracks through factory complexes.
You really want me to destroy these houses, right?
Very good. Now leave the construction menu again and select the new industry. Here you will see some info about your new industry. The rotating gear shows that the production is running. But if raw materials are missing or the export warehouse is overflowing, production stops. This decreases the utilization and consequently your profit. If the work stands still for a long time, you will also lose money. This can be the same city or any other city that can be reached by rail. So you can assume that your rail line to San Francisco will be used to transport beer. If one day the production of your industry is no longer adequate, you can enlarge it by increasing the level. This will also make your industry yield more profit, but you'll probably earn the most from transport of goods. Now select a rural business, because I'd like to show you that you can also buy this business.
Buy this.
You can acquire any rural or city business as long as it is not owned by one of your competitors. This starts an auction in which all competitors can participate, and the highest bidder gets the business. Start an auction now. Very good. Now try to acquire this rural business. Excellent. One last thing. Open the flow of goods display. The origin of travelers, mail, and goods is displayed here, as well as where they are transported to. This is very useful if you're looking for a specific farm, for example, or want to know which transport routes you could take over.
Okay.
Down here, you will see explanations about the flow of goods. Now select different goods and move your focus to rural businesses and cities to see different information and the flow of goods. When you're ready, you can then exit this tutorial at any time.
Damn, it's kind of complicated, right? But still, it's a real game. I'll learn it. I'll go through it.
In this lesson, I want to explain how passengers, mail, and freight can change trains. This is useful because it means you need fewer rail lines and you can easily distribute goods from central stations to all directions. Now select Sacramento, and there, passengers and mail. Here you can see the destinations passengers and mail have from Sacramento. Right now, that's just San Francisco, because it only mentions destinations that can be reached entirely by rail. However, this does not mean that these goods choose only direct connections. Indeed, passengers and mail may change trains in cities and at rural stations with hotels if there is no shorter way, and if the way by rail is at most twice as long as the direct way. Now, let's try this out. Now, build a station in Reading and connect the city to your station at the clearing. Feel free to use new tracks there. Then, create a new rail line that runs from the clearing to Reading. As soon as lumber arrives in Reading, we will continue.
Okay. Clearing and Reading. Here we go. That's what made more sense to me. Okay. Now what do you want? Okay. we don't need this here, but I think we should have it. It's gonna be Friday, so yeah. We have to wait for the lumber to arrive there. Yep, you're loading. Hurry up. That's a lot of lumber. You gonna add more, or are you just gonna move? How do we follow this train? Is there a key for that or no? This reminds me when we were kids, we would want something like this in the real world, like some small mini humans, and if we could like make something like this for them and watch them like load up and just observe them. The idea of observing some mini humans all day long kind of used to excite me. And building things for them, and you know, helping them, and just watching them do their stuff. So this is kind of that. The lumber is about to arrive to Reading. Reading is gonna have lumber! Lots of it! As you guys are still like standing behind the engine and not inside, was that common back in the days?
Now, so that the passengers and mail can change trains at the clearing, you need a hotel at the station. But you haven't researched it yet. Therefore, open the research diagram and unlock the hotel. Very good. Now select the station at the clearing and expand it with the hotel.
Clearing? Really? So where is clearing? Okay, here it is. Yeah. So you guys, the developers, if you see this tutorial screwed up. It kind of like highlights this one and not this one. It's the second time I'm seeing this.
Exactly. Now passengers and mail can change at the station. Open the overview Passengers and Mail in Sacramento again, and you'll notice that passengers and mail can now get to Reading via the station with the hotel. Maybe it will take a while for the new route to be registered. Then we'll just wait.
Yeah, because
Hotels, by the way, are only required at rural stations because in cities, passengers and mail can always change trains. Freight can also be transferred from one rail line to another at stations, but there must always be a warehouse for this, because freight takes up a lot of space. Now let's try it out. For this, unlock the warehouse within the research diagram and expand the station at the clearing with the warehouse.
It's supposed to say this one, not here.
Unlike the hotel, the warehouse needs to be adjusted to the goods that are to be transferred here. Therefore, select the constructed warehouse and instruct it to take in the goods, meat, beer, and cloth. You don't have to specify a quantity.
Again, it's highlighting something else.
Very good. The goods selected by you can now change the rail line at the warehouse. Note, the goods in the warehouse do not belong to you because the warehouse only serves as a stopover for changing trains. All goods already have a fixed destination. As with travelers and mail, freight is only shipped by a business if the destination can be reached by rail. For example, the meat industry in Sacramento can now ship meat to Redding by rail, knowing that the meat will reach its destination via the warehouse. Now, feel free to look at how the goods transfer at the clearing. You may also need to increase the number of trains to transport all the new goods. Then, finish this chapter whenever at your own pace.
Right now.
Greetings. Now we'll move on to banks and personnel, loans, stock trading, buying up competitors, personnel management, and sabotage. We'll start right away once you've opened the company dialog. Here you can see some data about your company on the left, and on the right side the current company value and how it's calculated. The results of the last 4 quarters are displayed here. The last quarter is on the left. Here you can see which companies are currently competing in the transportation business and how much these companies are worth. Each company, including yours, is a public stock company that received its initial funds from shareholders. Therefore, you can buy your competitors' shares as well. Once you have acquired all the shares of a competitor, you can merge with them and the competitor disappears. But be careful. If a competitor gains value faster than you, they will also try to buy up the shares of your company and kick you out of the race. Buy some competitors' shares now. There is quite a bit more information about mergers, but you can take a look at that at your leisure by opening the Tips and Tricks section.
Not now.
Here you can buy shares of different markets and issue company bonds to take out a loan. The higher your company value, the higher the bond's value. Now buy some stock and issue a bond. In the last section, you can see all kinds of statistics and company developments. Look around a bit, then close the dialog to continue.
Okay. Already closed the dialogue.
Now
This
let's
one-
take a look at the personnel. Open the corresponding dialogue. In this dialogue, you can change basic settings for the 4 different personnel areas of your company. The first area is for the engineer. Your trains are on the move 24 hours a day. With a daily work time of 8 hours, each train needs 3 engineers. If you increase the work time, for example, you will need fewer engineers, but the quality of the work will decrease.
Okay.
How many of the available positions can actually be filled depends on how much you invest in your employees. How well each individual works and how many positions are filled ultimately determines the efficiency of an area. Efficient engineers, for example, reduce the maintenance requirements of your locomotives. Now take a look at the 3 other personnel areas. They all work similarly, but each has different effects. One special feature is your security personnel. Not only do they affect mail and freight revenues, but they can also prevent sabotage when effectively used. As always, you can find more information about personnel in the Tips and Tricks dialogue. But now, let's turn to the last area. Start the search for a saboteur now. Go ahead and invest the highest amount. Normally, you would have to wait for a while now, but I'll take the liberty to speed up the search. As soon as you have found a saboteur, you can use them. Now close the dialogue and select something that belongs to your competitor north of Reading. For example, a station. Then, order the sabotage.
All I see with you are breakdowns. It's going to be an uneven battle.
This really did happen.
That's how it's done. Whether you want to sabotage your competitors or not, of course, is your decision. It's not important, but you should expect that your competitors will not be squeamish with you. So make sure you have enough security personnel. That also brings this lesson to an end. One more thing. As long as your business is small, you don't necessarily need to worry about your staff. At some point, however, you'll have 50 or more employees in one area, and you'll incur significant costs. By then, you should optimize your staff.
Okay. So finally, it's complete. It's kind of complex, the game, but I think it's all about playing. Like once you get started with the playing, you just get used to stuff. And I mean, imagine like when I played Railroad Tycoon 3, it was I think. I just figured it out without tutorials. There were no tutorials, or I didn't really care about them. I started playing, I kind of figured it out. I played everything, and in all the modes and everything. So, yeah. So when you play, you get used to stuff, and it doesn't sound as complex as it does when you start something new. So same is with this game. You have to play a lot to get used to it, and then everything will be like very simple. So here we're also ending the video. I'll continue later on. For now, I just wanted to cover these tutorials, and they kind of got long, so here we are. Have a good day, people.